Well, I want to say welcome, but I'm getting a little tongue-tied in here, John. So anyway, let's try this again, When I start late, it seems like I get a little lost or something.
Yeah, it's like, we've been waiting here for long. You've been in the gate, and you just didn't get a chance to
That's it. So we're starting a little late today, and we have a little change in pace here. Our first guest, due to unforeseen matters, issues have not called in, so we're going to go ahead and do Miss Jasmine Lassiter. And I feel like I'm in the midst of a movie star because Jasmine played in the movie Oz the Great and Powerful. So welcome, Jazz.
Thank you.
Do people call you Jazz?
Jazzy Jazz.
Jazzy Jazz. Oh, snap. Sometimes when I say, a short version of people's names, some people might say, no, don't call me Bill, call me William.
Right.
So if I say Jazz and you say, no, call me Jasmine, okay,
right.
Let me know. But anyways, I want to welcome you to the show. I'm glad you had time out of your busy schedule because I know when we talked, you were in transit.
Trying to get back home. And
I know. That train had you held up.
Traffic and just,
So since you are a movie star now, you consider yourself an official movie star?
Yeah, pretty much. Because I've been doing a lot of stuff, so yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And she brought me a picture, John, so I told her she's going to have to autograph it before she become too rich and famous, because then she may start charging people.
You just might have to meet her at a convention. She could charge you $25 or something.
I know. And then they charge me $20 to take a picture of her with my phone. So let's talk about your adventure in this movie. I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but I'm just glad to meet somebody from it. And it was a Flint-made movie.
Yeah, it's made in Pontiac, Michigan.
In Pontiac, okay.
Michigan-made.
Okay. Yeah. But it's a Michigan-made movie. So how did you get involved with this show in particular?
The way I got involved, I had joined the LPA, Little People of America. And ever since, they give people notifications about different stuff that's going on.
Right.
So they wrote my mom and told her that a movie was coming to Michigan, and they was looking for little people that was in Michigan. So they said send in the information, stuff like that. So my mom told me about it, and I'm like, yeah, I do want to do it. So I'm like, Mom, get on it, And she sent my information in, my picture in, and my story, And they called me in, we went from there, did an audition, and just from there, just went great.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you were doing this, and I know you've seen the original Wizard of Oz, and I know it's a group, Little People of America, but sometimes is that like stereotype, or what did you like to be referred to as other than Jasmine?
Right. Well, growing up, I never considered myself even a little person.
Right.
Yeah. But since I got in the group, we got to learn more. What people call it, the professional term or whatever they call dwarfism, people with different dwarfism. But I never really considered myself any. I just always said I was short.
Right.
But I'm okay with that, and just tell people what we prefer to be called. Really, just me. Jazzy.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. Now, how hard was it for you to in some of the action scenes? Did you have like a lot of stuff that maybe you think, well, I really can't do that, or did they adjust the scenes to the size of the people?
Yeah, they pretty much did. It was just like some scenes, like we had to carry this heavy crate and run through a little water and hills and just all together. So yeah, but they made it work. We all had to just get it together.
Right.
So.
And where's the movie playing now? Is it still playing?
It was in theaters. It came out March 8th. And it was theaters for about 3 weeks to 4 weeks. And so now it's on DVD at your local stores. Walmart, Target, any
of course,
store.
the video stores.
Yeah, all the video stores.
I'm going to have to see it. Now, if I see it, would people be able to see you in it and recognize you?
Yeah, you see me about 5 times or more. Throughout different parts of the movie, so yeah.
Right. So what kind of places have you been to where, like red carpet events and different things like that, where they're actually snapping pictures and getting autographs?
Oh yeah, the first one was right after the movie came out, the premiere. They had a big party, and kind of where the movie was filmed, like somewhere towards Detroit.
Yeah.
And it just was like they had the red carpet out there. They had paparazzi, all the camera crews, and it just, it was a shock for me.
It was like
but
Hollywood.
I just got right on board and was loving it. So, taking pictures like, just, all kinds of pictures. So it was cool. People interviewing from every which way. It was fun, I liked it. So.
Well, that's fun because I've never been to an event like that, but I saw one of the girls that I've had on my show before. She and her husband was there, and I had forgotten all about the premiere. And I saw her on Facebook, and everybody was dressed up in their gowns and stuff. And I was like, oh man, I wish I could have gone to that, but
yeah, it was really, really nice.
I don't have anything. I don't dress like that anymore. So now, was this your first acting role, or have you always acted? What did you think that you wanted to be at a younger age?
At a younger age, growing up, I always wanted to be a pediatrician, missionary, traveling missionary pediatrician. That's what I call it.
Oh, okay. So like the Doctors Without Walls.
Yeah, doctors that travel and stuff like that. But growing up, I'm like 10 years, So
that's a long time to be in school.
Yeah, I still want to work in the medical field, as a job. But then after I graduated, this acting thing came up, so it was awesome. I liked it, so I'm like, I can do this, So.
Do you have trouble that they give you like so many lines that you was thinking, oh man, I'm not going?
Well,
or was this?
No,
since you said you was only in there like 5 times, so it wasn't that
really
many lines.
Yeah, but we did go over this part with lines. We had to go over it and try to memorize it. That wasn't hard for me, so it was cool.
And this was your first role, or not your first role?
That was my first one, but since then I've been doing like tons of other stuff. So.
What kind of stuff?
Like, let's see, different autograph event signings, short films, music videos, different stuff like that. So.
You did a movie and a music. Was are you one of them butt popping girls in there?
No. It was it was I know how to dance though. No, but this one was a country music video. So.
All right.
Yeah.
So did you wear your cowboy boots and hat?
I had cowboy boots, the hat. Whole 9 yards.
Oh snap!
And I was this big tough truck driver.
Oh
so,
man!
Yeah, it's on my Facebook too.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check it out. The video itself is because somebody said that you did a video, and I was looking for it. I was like, what video did she do? Because somebody was saying,
on my wall.
They were like, oh, I saw the video, and I thought, oh, I want to see it. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I was Big J in there.
Get out! Yep. That's so cute.
Truck driver and all. So,
That is too funny. Now, tell me about you yourself, because I read some of your bio and like some of the things you've gone through from birth, so do you mind talking about something like that? So tell me what was it like?
Well, let's see. To start off, I came in with the bang, so when I first was born in a car on Stevenson Street.
I read that. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, died 7 times, so birth, and then the Lord revived me, so I'm here.
So what did they say was the reason for you dying 7 times?
I have no idea.
They didn't say?
No, I was born in the car and they didn't make it to the hospital on time. So I guess I was just in their pants too long.
Well, you were meant to be here, that's the thing, because otherwise you wouldn't. So what I had read was you're called proportion dwarfism. You're 3'9". You suffocated. And you were born in your family car, and you were paralyzed.
Yeah, I was paralyzed in 2005, though.
Now, was that from something from birth, or?
It's like around, let's say, probably 9 or something. I found out my spine was starting to curve. So scoliosis. Yeah. And they had to try to go in to correct that. And coming out of surgery, I was paralyzed. Couldn't walk for a year. Oh. And so I did therapy.
That's scary for a year.
Just all kind of stuff. And then I started walking after a year, so. I went through a lot. Went through Make-A-Wish because they thought I wasn't going to make it. So, I was supposed to, they didn't know it was 50-50. I could just not wake up out the surgery or wake up paralyzed. It was one or the other. So.
Right. And so after a year, things just because I had polio as a kid, so I was paralyzed at first too, and I had to learn how to walk all over again. Right. So is that basically you had to learn how to walk all over again?
Yeah, I was so determined though. So they told me I would never walk again. Plus my feet was kind of stuck like this.
Yeah. Well, see, and I went through some of the same thing because they didn't know if I was going to walk. They didn't know what I had because. In 59 when I had it, the vaccine was available. Right. So they couldn't figure it out. They was like, well, what happened.
Right.
And then when I left and come back, I had said, well, when I come back, I'm going to be walking. So I was in the hospital, it seemed like forever.
Right. Yeah, it felt like we lived in the hospital. So. Yeah, it was our new home in Ann Arbor, so.
Yep, and see, there was like, in the South, it was like a children's ward, so they just, a room full of kids, everybody with different disabilities.
Yeah.
But, so now I'd also say you have been in beauty pageants, a stand-up comedian.
Yep. Well, last year, I was in Sunburst beauty pageant. I've made it all the way to nationals. They went to Atlanta. It started off in Michigan. It was one in Detroit. I made it. Placed the first one. I placed top queen. Second one, I was in third runner up. Then I made it all the way to Atlanta. It was top 10. So I just kept on going. I wanted to get that on my belt.
Right. So is that part of your bucket list?
Yep.
So now when the beauty pageants now. How did you qualify? Because it seemed like they have such a standard. You had to be a certain height and blah, blah, blah.
Well, they didn't have a, it's not like modeling. I guess they didn't have a height qualification, but I just went for it. My sister gave me the information, and I was like, I'm going to try it out. I like to design also, I design dresses.
And I see you design clothes.
Yep, I designed my prom dress, so I just put it on, did my hair up, makeup up, went for it, and, with the attitude with it.
Right.
And placed, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to keep on going all the way to nationals.
Until you just lose out or whatever to somebody
else. So I made it all the way to the last one, and I was like, okay, I'm going to leave that there. It's cost, it's expensive, but I did it, I like doing things and just say I did it.
Right. That's my motto, too. It's like, do everything you never did before.
Yep.
Because you never know what tomorrow's going to bring, and then you don't want to be like, dang, I wish I had done.
Yeah, so I just go for it,
Now, and you also went to Mott. Now, did you go to Mott for what?
Well, I was just going, until I made my mind up. But really, I wanted to do, nursing. I want to do a lot of stuff. I want to do so much stuff.
Right.
And so it's like,
well, you're still young, so you got plenty of time.
So once this acting thing, it kind of slowed the other stuff down. But it made me get on the road to other stuff I want to do.
Right.
So I also want to be a designer, in acting. So that sped that type of stuff up, in the entertainment, comedian and all that other stuff. They gave me different gigs with that. So, but I'm still going back to school, soon.
So you still want to be in the medical field?
Yes, because I grew most of my life in the hospital.
Right.
So I want to work with the babies in ICU.
That show, the little people.
Couple.
Yeah, the little couple. She's a pediatrician and she have her little footstool.
Yeah.
And now their baby is as big as she is.
I like that show.
I think it's really heartwarming and it's very educational and it shows determination.
Right.
Her husband is a little person. Now their kid is a little person. They thinking about getting a second one.
Right.
And when he was little, it's like, how do you carry him? Because he's end up being bigger than her.
Same height as,
Yeah. And it's like, wow.
Make it work somehow.
Right. I think, do you find that sometimes, you like a regular sized person take a lot of stuff for granted? Compared to little people?
Let's see. Somewhat, kind of, not really. Somewhat.
Yeah.
I mean, people are doing so much,
But
some things you can't do, but figure out a way to just do it.
Yeah.
But I do look at them like,
You be like, I hate when people say I can't.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's a word that's way, way, way down in my vocabulary. It's like, don't say can't, say I'm going to see if I can figure it out. And then, because maybe you can't, but don't say can't first.
That's me, yeah. I don't like people saying can't either.
Yeah, that's why I say I think sometimes people they take stuff for granted and they don't realize other people that have difficulty doing something where they could do it much easier, and then they say, well, I can't do it.
Right.
Where I'm just like, well, I'm gonna do it.
Like,
one way.
Yeah. You can't do it.
One way or another, I'm gonna do it.
Right. Yeah, that's how I am. I don't like taking no for an answer. When I want to do something,
you just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
So, what kind of gigs have you done as far as stand up?
Well, as far as I'm just funny period, but I haven't did any stand up comedy yet. But my cousin, he's a comedian also, and he wanted me to do his first opening act. So I'm thinking about doing that. Hopefully one of these weekends.
So can you just pop up with something? If I say, okay, give me something right now.
Well, not a joke, but not like a joke, like knock knock. No, I'm just saying,
No, I don't do knock knocks.
Me neither. No.
But I had another comedian in here one day, and I told him, I said, "Oh, you that good?" I said, "Go ahead, give me something." And he was able to come up with something, and we were just cracking up in here, and it was just like, oh my God, I guess it's a talent because I find humor in a lot of stuff. And some people say, "Oh, well, you could be a comedian." It's like, I don't think I could be a comedian. I just think that there's humor in some of everything. And to me, I don't want life to be so serious all the time. I may just turn 60 years old in July. I'm lucky to be 60. I had polio. I could have been paralyzed. I could have been dead. But, another year come and gone, and there you go. So you just, live each day like there's no tomorrow. That's my motto.
Right.
And I'm going to do everything. I got a big bucket list.
Me too. I'm trying to tell you.
We're going to be crossing off together, be like, Jess, you got this, you did that.
Right. Yeah, I want to do so much.
So now what, as far as your future goals, like short term, what aside from maybe getting into the medical field, which it's going to take you about 10 years?
Right. Well, probably not 10 years, like 4. It's not doctor, just nursing.
Okay.
But yeah.
So is nursing, is that something you like really looked into now while you're in the, like between acting, or you think acting will springboard you into that and help pay for some of that?
Right. I don't know. It's been like, every time I get in school, it's like I get out. So I'm going to just try to go for it, get these years out the way. And just do acting in between. Like summer breaks. Try to do some movies, go back to school. Yeah. So I'm trying to balance it all out,
Yeah, well, you don't want to overwhelm yourself.
Right.
Because that's easy to do. Next thing you know, you be pulling out
stressed
your hair.
out, like, I'm not doing none of this.
Right. Then you kill your whole bucket list because you're too tired. You're just like, oh my God, what I get into? Because once I retired, I had to figure out the same kind of thing. I had to balance out stuff because when you get into too many different volunteer groups and all that, it's like you start spreading yourself thin. And say you want to be a comedian, you want to design dresses, you want to be in pageants, you want to be in the movies, and then you want to be a nurse. Right. It's like it's only one of you, so you have to figure out,
try to balance it all
prioritize what is the most important.
Right, make it work somehow.
Right. So now, is there anybody else in your family that's a little person?
I got an uncle that's small. He don't consider himself a little person though. He's about like 4 foot something.
Oh well, he's tall.
So, yeah, right. That's, to me, he's tall. So I guess you say I'm the only one. My sister, she's small for her age, but she's way taller than me. She's 12 and she's about here.
Oh, so she's little for her age.
For her age, but she be like, I don't know what y'all talking about. She's a little person when she want to be,
Right. If
when
it serves her purpose.
Yeah, when it counts.
I'm a little person.
I don't know what you talking about. I ain't no little person. But she won when it counts, so. Yeah.
So what kind of obstacles do you find in public, like you run into any kind of discrimination or anything? Cause
the worst is the people that's older. That you would expect to be mature, like grown-ups, when they do stuff like, oh my God, did you see that? That's a full woman.
Right,
and I'm like, okay, come on now. Or they approach me and be like, are you what I think you are?
What do you think I am?
All right, one time I was walking with another little person, and they was like, they go a pair of little people, and I'm like, okay.
Some people
I'm used to it though.
Yeah,
it'd be funny sometimes, and sometimes it's just like,
you're over it. Yeah.
Like,
so
seriously.
it's the insensitivity of it, because sometimes you just, you see stuff and you just want to, I'd rather people ask, like, with like having polio, walk with a limp. I'd rather people ask, why do you limp, versus staring, like.
Or say something just rude and out the way.
Yeah, or else they're going to look the other way like they don't see you.
Right. Or you look and the whole group, to be like, and they just all look at you at the same time.
And they're talking about you. You be like, y'all got something you want to say?
Yeah, one time I was like, what we laughing at? And the dude was just like, come on now.
Right. I understand that a lot because, people, I think they just don't know what to say. So instead of just not saying anything or just asking, they just do something stupid and maybe they regret it later. Yeah. They're like, oh.
Once you educate them too on it, they probably feel stupid later. Like, damn, I should have just.
So have you done any gigs like that as far as mentoring people or educating people on little people?
Well, somebody was just inboxing me that about like inspirational speaker or whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody was asking me that. Motivational speaker. I haven't did it yet, but I'm interested in doing it because a lot of people, write me here and there and tell me that I inspired them, with my story. And I don't, I didn't know it, I don't think of it like that, whatever. But now that I think about it, it could help somebody else.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't mind. So
yeah, I think it would be good because when I had the opportunity, the different people that I have on my show, I'm looking for good opportunities. Like I've got some people coming on next month that it's an aunt and a niece, both are cancer survivors. And stuff like that is really inspiring to me, that they live to tell about it, and you can write it in a book, and like you could be a motivational speaker, because it could be some other people. Like there's a little dwarf that lives in my community, and I don't know him or anything, but I don't see him with like a lot of other kids or anything like that. So I don't know what his life is like.
Right.
But I always say, if you can just help a person with something,
right.
And I think it would be good to have you like maybe speak an event.
Get like comfortable with themselves.
Yeah.
Just different stuff.
Because it's like, like I say, what do you like to be called?
Right, yeah.
And some people they want to say, well, midget, or they want, they don't know what's PC.
And a lot of some people, shut down from it, just distant. Like you say, you seen him by himself, probably distant himself from people. And they just automatically sometimes have an attitude because the way people approach them daily.
Right.
So yeah, they probably just need somebody to talk to them
and they don't have anybody else like that around, and they don't, so they just feel like they're in their own world.
Yeah, because I grew up around no little people. I just, just started being around little people when I turned at least like 17. So yeah.
But then when you have a support system, and now with the little people group, because I've watched them on TLC, they have the big events and parties.
That's how I found out about it and started going.
Yeah, and they have parties and stuff, and that some of them getting married and everything, and I'm just like, wow, look at the group. A lot of people don't know about that, and you could be inspiration, especially with your bucket list.
Right. Yeah.
Let everybody know you should have a bucket list.
Right. I was just thinking of a few days ago, because I remember I said I want to be a missionary too, and once I got older, I didn't forget about it, but it kind of got lost in because of acting and all that other stuff. So it came back to me not too long ago about the mission and how could I turn that in with the acting and everything else I'm trying to do. And I was just thinking like coming up with like a group of young people that just inspire each other, tell their stories, that their survival stories and different stuff like that. And also like, because I like to dance, and like do dance stuff and different events and stuff like that. Bring your acting skills. So I was just thinking of stuff like that,
Yeah, because it's a couple people on Facebook that have groups like that does say slam poetry, and they're all youth groups, and they do dance. They go to finals and different things like that.
Yeah, I was thinking about coming up with something like that, youth mission group.
Yeah, because a lot of kids need something to do, and maybe they're good at dancing, and they just don't know it, and they think, if I had somebody else to work with me or whatever, and I think that's a good idea.
Right. And for people especially that's been like paralyzed before and stuff like that, that's what I want to reach out to,
Yeah.
And just come together, and people that love to dance and once couldn't walk, because I don't want them to take it for granted.
Right.
And I don't ever want to take it for granted either, because
Well, that's what I was saying earlier about how people take day-to-day living for granted, because they might be able to do something as simple as run up and down the steps.
Right.
I can't do it.
Right.
I wish I could do, but they take that for granted, and it's like they don't realize, we have to learn how to do stuff differently. We can do it, but we just have to do it in a different way, where they can just like run up there and don't even think twice about it.
Right.
So I think that's a good idea. So if I find anybody that, has a group or want to start a group, and, I'll let you know, because I know a lot of the people from Facebook that on my list have been on my show.
Right.
For different groups and programs and everything, because this show, by being a variety show, I focus on a lot of stuff within the community and a lot of activities like that. I don't do anything controversial or political. I don't do any of that. But so anyways, is there anything that you would like to say to the people that's watching about anything?
I'd say thanks for watching, and keep your head up. If you got a dream, stay on it. Keep it going. Keep God first, and just stay on it.
Okay.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. That's the main thing. Don't ever say I can't.
Live
say
life
I'll
to
try.
the fullest too.
Right.
Have fun.
Like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
And don't forget the bucket list.
Right. Try new things. Just keep God first.
Yeah. So I want to thank you for coming in and once again, and this has really been enlightening to me, and like I said, if I find out anybody that's doing any kind of groups or anything like that, I'll put your name out there.
Yeah, anybody that want to join a group because we're gonna start one, with the young people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
You might, if you start your Facebook page,
that could be a start.
Yeah, we can invite people to it, and you probably be surprised at how many people you will actually get.
Yeah.
Right. So thank you for coming on, Jasmine. It's been a pleasure meeting you. And so I'm glad that we were able to get you in. And so if I can do anything to help you, if you have any events coming up or anything and you want to come back on the show, we'll be glad to have you.
Sounds good.
So next, let me see, we're going into September. I guess in September, Tuesday, September 3rd, my guest will be Daniel Pete, and he's doing a Color Vibe event. That's that race where people run through paint. I think that'll be fun. Of course, I'm not running through paint. So everybody make sure that you tune in then. And for saying that, this is Flaminpit, and we're out.